Yes, my people. Omo Atiku Abubakar don file fresh petition to Chicago State Court. Give to that direct judge wey give 48 hours for Chicago State University to release Tinubu records give am. Listen to wetin he tell the judge. In fact, one of the key things when he tell the judge be say, he tell am say him dey give them till 2nd of October to tell Chicago State University to release all those records to him. Come still give proof say the certificate wey dey with Tinubu wey some give INEC na fake. Listen to wetin Atiku talk. Hear how he take proof say the thing na fake. Watch the video, make you share am. Here, you get reason.
Now look at how Atiku proved this thing. He said Elnora Daniel Neva Lubin joined Chicago State University decades after Tinubu graduated in 1979. Couldn't have signed his certificate, Atiku tells court. Listen so you can understand. He said, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, the first runner-up in the February 25th presidential election poll, says it is impossible for Elnora Daniel and Neva Lubin to have signed Bola Tinubu's 1979 Chicago State University certificate, given that they began working in the institution in 1998 and 1996 respectively. Please get this thing clearly. A certificate was given to Tinubu in 1979, but somebody who started working in the company in 1998 is the one that signed it. A miracle. Listen, he said, as the battle for the release of Mr. Tinubu's Chicago State University records rages, Mr. Abubakar on Wednesday told the U.S. court for the Northern District of Illinois that he does not understand how Mr. Tinubu's certificate submitted to Nigeria's electoral body INEC bore the signature of 2 Chicago State University staffs who joined the institution nearly 2 decades after the president graduated. Mr. Abubakar, the applicant for an order, directing discovery of Mr. Tinubu's records said there were glaring inconsistencies between the certificates Mr. Tinubu tendered to INEC dated June 22, 1979 and the one Chicago State University gave Nigerian lawyer Mike Enahoro Eba in response to a previous subpoena dated June 27, 1979. Okay? The June 22 diploma has a different font and seal and does not have the grammatical error in the June 27 diploma. Instead of 3 signatures, it has only 2. It also purports to be signed by Dr. Daniel as president of Chicago State University, who did not begin working at Chicago State University until 1998. The second signature purports to be that of Dr. Neva Lubin as chair of the board, but like Dr. Daniel, Dr. Lubin did not begin working at Chicago State University until the late 1990s. Angela Liu, counsel for Mr. Abubakar, wrote to the court on Wednesday. The former Chicago State University board chair's legal name is Neil Lubin Johnson, which is how it is written on all public records. How her name was spelled as Neva Lubin alone on the certificate purportedly issued to Mr. Tinubu could not be understood. Further fueling the suspicions of forgery, People's Gazette's checks show that Miss Lubin Johnson joined the Chicago State University board in 1990s and left after serving 2 terms in 2002. Both women, Mrs. Daniel and Lubin, whose names appeared on Mr. Tinubu's diploma, joined Chicago State University long after Mr. Tinubu graduated and long before Chicago State University said the incumbent president and board chair usually signed the certificates at the time of request, Mr. Abubakar's lawyers noted. The June 22 diploma has indicia of forgery, asserted Ms. Liu. Although it appears to be signed by 3 Chicago State University officials, 2 of the signatures are eligible and the 3rd purports to be that of Dr. Elnora D. Daniel as president of Chicago State University. Even though she did not join Chicago State University until 1998, ECF5XEXF. It also contains a clear grammatical error, ECF5, then EX.C, not the other way around that is written EX.F. Although intervenors submitted an affidavit to this court from Westberg, asserting that all diplomas are signed by the current president or board chair, Exp0se 21-1 at whatever, for both Dr. Daniel and Dr. Lubin had left Chicago State University by 2008 and 2001 respectively. Ms. Liu pointed out, Mr. Tinubu successfully begged Judge Nancy Maldonado to delay the release of his school records to his main challenger in the presidential poll as previously ordered by Judge Jeffrey Gilbert of the United States Federal Court, pleading severe and irreparable damage to his life. In a last-ditch effort to stop the order from being enforced, Mr. Abubakar wants to use the documents at the Supreme Court of Nigeria in his quest to prove Mr. Tinubu committed perjury and is therefore ineligible to serve as the nation's president. Now, according to the filing for today, it says Atiku versus CSU/Tinubu update. This is from Ms. Pears. It says Atiku has filed to Magistrate Judge Gilbert on the reasons why the judge must sustain the judgment of District Court of Illinois and other Chicago State University to release the documents of Bola Ahmed Tinubu no later than 2nd of October 2023.
We are gaining global recognition. A clap for that. A clap for that. We are getting global recognition, at least for bad. So if you don't get it in good way, get it in bad way. Either way, just be recognized, be popular. So as North Korea, they well known, notoriously well known. Maybe we they know us for one thing, but it's a bad thing that today we are here, and this whole thing, all this blame goes to the people, the authorities that are supposed to put a check. If you want to travel out of Nigeria, you submit your WAEC result. They will tell you to bring scratch card. The schools or the country will tell you to bring scratch card for them to verify. They will verify it. So only in this case, I don't understand why exactly INEC did not do any verification. All they did is that it has been tendered. INEC did not ask for O level. INEC did not ask for living school certificate. So they don't care. All they care is that you are coming from this big political party and you are sponsored, and that's all. INEC is supposed to be the body that conduct election, and those that must participate have rules, have qualification that must be submitted. Anyway, they said INEC said in their defense that it is not their duty to query or to investigate or to to verify any certificate or whatsoever, that it is the duty of the people who is contending. Yet the school will say any issue of qualification is pre-election matter. I mean, the court will say any issue of qualification in pre-election matter. I don't even know where exactly this country belongs right now. The country is in a state of quagmire, confusion, total disarray, total we don't understand. INEC is saying left, judiciary is saying right. Everybody is just upside down because of one matter.